Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the International 9-Ball Open. We've got an excited crowd here tonight. I love it. This event, produced by Pat Fleming, is being brought to you live from the Simonis Aramis Arena here at the Sheraton Norfolk Waterside Hotel in Norfolk, Virginia. 112 international players came out to play tonight, representing 27 different countries, truly making this an international event. At this time, before we introduce the players, I'd like to give a big thank you to our three major sponsors, Simonis, Aramis, and Diamond Billiard Products, for their continued support in this event and professional pool all around the world. Let's give them a hand right there, folks. Thank you. And let's not forget all of you. Last but not least, on behalf of Pat Fleming, the film crew, and all the world-class players that are here, we sincerely appreciate all of you that came out here to watch in person and all of you tuned in online. Thank you very much for all that you give to the world of pool, the game that we all love. Thank you. And without further ado, now introducing our players. Coming to us from the Philippines, he is the two-time Derby City 9-Ball champion, sponsored by Bugsy Promotions. It's RoboCop Dennis Orcollo. And his opponent, coming to us from England, sponsored by Predator Cues. He's the 2018 Derby City 9-Ball champion. Let's give it up for the powerhouse, Chris Melling. Gentlemen, lag for break. Presiding over this match will be referee Ricky Bryant. At this time, let's send it up to the booth to our two very special commentators, Mark Wilson and Double J, Jeremy Jones. Take it away, gentlemen.
Next up, we're going to pick up the intensity yet again here at the International Open. We have tremendous accurate shot making in Chris Melling, playing against a guy with every tool needed to be ranked #1, the best in the world, Dennis Orcollo. To cover the match, we also brought in the best, Jeremy Jones. I'm Mark Wilson, and Jeremy, let me hear your thoughts to begin the action.
Well, we know Chris is playing really well. He's had probably the best 18 months of his pro career here lately, and Dennis Orcollo kind of speaks for himself. We all know what he's doing, and he's usually in stroke, always hitting a lot of balls, being prepared for every event he plays in. So I expect probably above 900 match from both.
Wow. Yeah, that's supreme firepower there. Dennis constantly hitting balls. Jay Helford talks about going to bed after midnight and then waking up early in the morning, and Dennis will be back up hitting balls again. So he's got all the tools. Melling's a super shot maker, sometimes a little loose on some of his patterns.
Well, I think it's weird. It's another thing that he plays at a certain rhythm usually, to where he sacrifices a little bit of decision making to stay in that rhythm, because when he has to take time, I love his decisions overall. I mean,
yeah.
And they meet his game too, kind of like letting your stroke out at times. And we all know he's got a real long stroke, so.
He's won the leg, and he's up first. He'll be breaking from the extreme left side of the 9-inch box here. It's 9 inches left or right of center.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure he's all the way over. I think he's just a little inside of it, the very corner, just barely.
6 balls on the wing.
And he made it, and that's that scratch that we've seen several times. And what's the 9 going to do, Mark?
Oh, boy.
And this is going to be an easy early win, I believe, for Mr. Orcollo.
Yeah, ball in hand. Combinations are tough, but with ball in hand, they're pretty much a certainty with him.
Yeah, and as far as making balls on the break and making, breaks that you continue to shoot, that's been the break that's been most effective as far as that, but we've seen that scratch on the bottom of the rack many times.
He's going to easily billiard in the 9-ball. Rack 1 will go to Dennis. Now leads the match 1-0.
It's a pretty sweet starter to
Yeah.
get on the board.
Makes you feel good. You lose the leg, but the next time you step to the table, you got rack 1 before you. Chris Melling reminds me of a baseball pitcher that has the great stuff. And so sometimes all the way to the point where you get in the big leagues, you can just rear back and throw a little bit harder.
Right.
But once you get to the big leagues, you better have a few more tools there. And the tight pattern play sometimes can affect your consistency if you're loose with that.
Yeah, and coming off a win last week in Elizabeth City, just an hour away, pretty stellar little 32-man field they had over there. So
right.
Confidence, does as much as anything. I always tell people that one thing, everybody makes different opinions about decisions, but committing to the shot, I believe, is you can overcome a little bit of bad decision-making with confidence and committing to, because, he's not going to make the most horrible decision in the world, you wouldn't think.
Mm-hmm.
So
well,
I think that's what kind of gets him across the finish line a lot.
What helps him to make up for everything is his attitude. His cheerful disposition. Nothing seems to affect him. He's always smiling. We look on Orcollo breaking, 6-ball on the wing, trying to make the one on the side.
Okay, now he's come high with the cue ball, which is he was playing more for the one around where it went and then hopefully making a corner ball or another ball. When you're cutting them more, that means you're usually trying to make the one on the side. Immediately, we're going to see a little bit of cat and mouse. Don't think he may be able to see a piece of the one, but not much, and I don't think he can be effective if he can. I think he's snookered.
Yeah, he may be forced to push out here.
Yeah, and difficult push out it is. I mean, anytime you get a lot of congestion, snookers are easy to come away with.
Right. I really wouldn't object if he was, I don't know if we can get the overhead real quick, but if he was to do something more productive than what, and bank the two up in here and
Tie
just
some
push.
up.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great shot there, an effort to try to tie it up.
I agree, but you got to still have a little idea what you may do from here.
Well, and plus he didn't get the two tied up or tangled up quite as much as he would have
Well,
liked.
yeah, but position is much tougher. There's only so many areas to play position. So even if you get tidy position on the two, you're going to have some issues with traffic and whatnot. So
right.
I'm just wondering what he had in mind from here.
Well, he got it back.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you what the shot he can shoot. He can shoot the one, like bank it one rail back into the face of the 4-ball it's next to him with a high right ball and let the cue ball come back towards that 6-8. Kind of drift that way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of use the 5 and, it may not get a snooker, but you can do a lot of good things with it.
Well, he played the shot that you described.
But he went with inside English instead of right English, so.
Right.
Then he's going towards the balls, so a collision is very likely.
I think it's a little bit more something a 6x12 player might try it that way, and a pool player might go with outside just to avoid the balls are bigger.
Theoretically, maybe his shot was on, but when it doesn't take much for it to be off if you send the cue ball towards the traffic.
Right.
So
these are these little predicaments that Dennis is so handy at.
Yeah, well, he's got a lot of cover if he can just get the one to the rail with the 6 being there, and if he hooks him, that's kind of jelly. That's kind of extra.
That's a foul, ball in hand, but a great effort. Half mass A. He had to be super sensitive with the speed because the cue ball was tracking right for the corner pocket.
Okay, interesting situation here. Not only with ball in hand, he can pocket the 1-4, which will later on open up to 6, I believe. Of course, when he shoots the 2, he may go into the 8, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Funny situation here. He may have to shoot the 1-4 just to get the run started. Because I certainly hate to play safe. I'd like to take a chance at running out here.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get into some type of a kicking battle with Dennis any more often than you'll have to.
Yeah, and anytime you're unless you got to sew up safety in a situation like this, but when the great players are kicking at the ball with 9 balls on the table, if they hit it, their percentages of leaving you in a situation go up and up.
Right. And then this really plays to Chris's strengths, too, the super firepower.
Yeah, now he's going to touch his shot here because I'm not sure he can afford to go forward and try to get it to his area for the 2. He may have to draw it. So stretching and having to draw into a little position now. Okay, he is going to cheat the pocket and go forward. Nice shot. Looks like perfect.
Boy, what a good shot that was.
Yeah, if that's going to indicate anything.
That was subtly super difficult to get exactly where he had to get to pocket the 2.
You know, I wouldn't flirt with the 8 myself. Just, I know it opens the 6 up, but man, you could catch it thick or thin and lose the cue ball or hold the cue ball there. So we'll see. Okay, he played it, and then again, he could have caught the 7. It could have been a number of things that went wrong there, but I think he moved the 8 enough to open the 6 for the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll just slide across the table here using the 5 to go probably 3 rails to the 6 after pocketing the 3.
You know, one thing that really does play to Chris's favor is his attitude, because he's always cheerful, even when things don't go his way. And Dennis, on the other hand, can be a little temperamental sometimes when he struggles and he gets a little aggravated.
Yeah, well, I've seen Dennis's tempo, pace of play really change in the midst of a match, and that's purely psychological a lot of times, because he's not the type that let nerves really make him get rushed.
Right. I'll see him sometimes when he's playing super confident. He will just go into pure one-stroke mode. And then there's other times where he really takes his time. He's got a little bit wider range than most players do. Most people stay in their tempo. Dennis changes it up. I think it's some way to keep himself interested, because he plays so much. Sometimes I think he gets the tedium sets in, so he just does it just to kind of reinvigorate himself.
Well, and like you said earlier, I've seen him get a little aggravated as well, and really pick up the pace as far as playing. So I'll tell you, he's a fighter, though, and that's one thing that makes him such a great player. He is all heart. He's all in every time he plays. So
I'll say, and that was a very classy run out to start the match here for Melling, leading the match 1-0. Both of them can play very, very fast. Melling about as fast as anybody. That's really good. There's people that play faster, but they're not any good.
right. But he's still slowed down a little bit, I think, since the first few times I was around him. You wouldn't call him a slow player by any means, but I'm saying he's tapered off, you know.
Yeah. You ever got to broadcast with him?
I think so, one time in Vegas, I believe.
He's really good.
Yeah,
he
was
really
a lot
good.
of fun. Sharp guy, too.
Yeah. Jason Shaw looking on.
I'll tell you, Josh Roberts on an outer table just playing one heck of a match against David Alcade, now up 10-4. David did miss a couple early balls, but Josh taking full advantage. Tommy Kennedy playing great against Johan Chua. Tommy's got a pretty simple 9 to go up 5-4. And back here, it's 1 apiece.
4-ball in the wing.
Okay, he went with the lower one again, which is, again, trying to make the one on the side for the most part. But that's what the 2 does a lot of times. If it doesn't get kissed, it comes 3 rails towards that side pocket. Very effective break. That's the one I've been trying to use, and really wasn't my break that cost me my last match.
Tricky place to play from here. Chris really didn't want to have to go into a safety mode right away.
No, I think he's going to try and find a way to be offensive. I really do. I think he may be able to go back and forth and get around where the 2's at now. Just straight across the table above the 5 and 8. I know it's touchy, but it lays pretty nice. But you don't need a lot of inside English, just a little. I think that's what you're going to see him play. You got plenty of angle, so you don't have to hit it like really hard to force the ball. Just a nice clean stroke, go 2 rails.
Well, and this plays right into his wheelhouse too. This type of a shot.
Well, he may have hit it too well. Hit it perfect. But that's the type of shot. I mean, professional players, they play that shot a lot. So kind of, it wasn't fighting the shot either. Like he had to overhit it to move it or anything like that. So
plays a real delicate speed. They'll have the cue ball billiard the 4 afterwards to develop it. That way he didn't have to try to muscle up and do some backspin to avoid it. Just let it rub forward.
And these English guys usually come 1 rail out on the 5 here rather than going with top. Like so. He's underhit this a bit, but it should be okay. Looks like he can float it. He could hit it with a lot more speed and go 3 rails around. But I think floating it on these pockets is the proper play. Yeah, just like so. Especially when you're hitting nothing but
Wow.
center.
Okay. Beautiful shot. And Chris, he is funny. This will be all one stroke from here. Boom, boom. Nice break and run there.
Yeah, and he doesn't lose his timing much either with a little bit of a faster pace play.
He always has the pronounced hesitation at the end of his backswing. It's a bit more significant than you generally see. Good timing on his delivery.
Yeah, he keeps it pretty clean overall.
Started off with that tough position play on that 2-ball in the very first rack, and then it's just been all Chris Melling so far, running around the table like a player with his hair on fire.
An SVB and a dogfight over there against Dudadets from Russia. Dudadets up 5-4 and shooting.
Yeah, I was telling my friend today, if you came here looking for an easy match, you've come to the wrong tournament.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, this is how it should be, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure. This is a real sport now. You
Right.
don't know who's going to win or how they're going to win.
Right.
5-ball in the wing. Melling laid into him last rack.
Okay, caught that bottom one now. The one's coming around, but it's not got enough gas to be offensive. Now with the 2 all the way down table, he's got some options. This is one where you want to hit it a little thicker, I think, maybe, and play the 1 above the 4. And run the cue ball back here up at the end rail, maybe. Something like that.
You're saying one rail, or are you saying try to come around?
Like 1, 2, or hit the side rail, float to the end rail behind the 9, and put the 1. Just, you don't want to cut the 1 as much on this one because it may lay over.
Go ahead and draw on it here so we can see.
Yeah, we're gonna, shoot the 1 on the edge of the 1 ball, kind of thickly, where the 1 comes 1 round up, and then the cue ball races to here and then drifts all the way back down table. That way, with the 2 all the way back, you got a lot of cover that way.
Yeah, probably plays about the easiest that way,
because
too.
you can put the 1 up, and now if he could play behind the 6-2, that's all right as well, but that takes a little more effort, and it could get away from you. Like here, if you don't get him behind it, you're leaving him an easy angle to move the ball from the end rail. See, and that's what you don't want.
Expert call right there, Jeremy. That's exactly what you forecast, because you're traveling so much more distance, and if you just hit a 16th of an inch off that 1, it changes it that much.
Yeah, when you have another ball up back down table to get position on, you want to play where the 1's away from the pocket, so you hit it thicker and play a different route. Or maybe even the same route he tried. That would have been okay.
Uh-oh, side pocket?
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate one. He caught the 1 just a hair thick to the hole. So he didn't imagine that scratch was possible on the new felt with the slick conditions, because you figure it to spread.
As soon as I saw it hit the first rail, I knew the side pocket was in play because he got in there deep.
Yeah, he caught it really deep.
Oh, boy, Chris is really going to be off to the races if he gets on this 3 here.
Now he's just going to draw down table, so he's got to have a nice touch. That's got to slow down a little bit, right? Doesn't that have to slow down? That's going to see, now the 6 is way down table. So now you got issues. So that one need to be thought of a little more. I might have gone across the table and played on the clean side of the 3 myself, but...
And he barely got past the side pocket, too. There was...
Now he's flirting with this point right here. And now again, okay, he's elevating. So talk about triple tough. This might get away from him too. Wow, what a great shot.
Oh, and around the 6.
Now he's kind of flat.
He bumps the 6. That would have been ugly. Now we get to see a real pretty draw stroke. This is what I paid my money to watch.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's going to draw back much. I think he's just going to take the shot from about maybe the head string and cut the 6. I think it may be kind of foolish to try and come all the way back. Maybe not. Oh, wow.
That's what I like to watch.
Yeah, well, he's got to come with another one, Mark.
I like to watch that, too.
And he is. He's gonna put some speed on this, coming to the side rail and out to the center for the cut on the 7. Probably a shot he practiced when he was younger about 1,000 times a day right there.
Oh, he made that look so easy, and you and I both know he had to hit that really good to make it look like that. Nope.
See, I was wondering, why is he queuing down? I think he just comes above the 8 here. No reason to cue down on the ball, I don't believe, unless he's swinging around for the 8 in the opposite hole. Okay, now he's kind of got on the 50 a little bit.
I think he feels really good about this, however.
Of course, but
how's his speed? Just about perfect, coming across the position line into perfect position. Great job there.
and Dennis, an error, obviously losing the cue ball, but it wasn't a miss, and it was a little bit unfortunate. I mean, he just like I said, caught the one a little heavy to the pocket.
Yeah. But was from long range and off angle, and like you said, you don't figure on slick cloth that you can get 2 rails into the side pocket very easily.
Yeah, and the diamond's a little more inept to do that. So, but not with the slick conditions, you wouldn't figure. But you can also really warp the cue ball with the slick conditions as well. So,
speaking of diamond, right behind our shot clock is Greg Sullivan, the owner of Diamond Pool Tables.
and watch the one hit the right side.
Okay, well, anyway, 3-1's our score.
Melling breaking.
It's always good to see Greg Sullivan come out. I told him we stopped by the factory. We stopped by the Diamond Factory. Boy, was that ever interesting. Okay, Melling set to break. 3 balls on the wing. 9-ball action.
Cue ball action too,
Oh.
getting a kiss, and that's what happens when
man.
it's a little cold, but that's what happens when you send it close to the side. So that's why when you break the traditional break, you don't want to even go in that way at all.
Right.
So he's good thing the 6 is kind of near the hole. Wow, he's looking at this now.
Yeah, you can see that 5 is going to be problematic down the way, but now
I
you got
thought he
3
could
ball.
make it though with the 6 being there, but
3-ball combination, then you got control of that secondary ball.
yeah.
How'd he do?
Ooh, okay.
Perfect. Or did he?
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, look at great camera work there.
He's going to have to draw this and kind of force it through, but the problem is the 8 going to go into the rail real quick and catch the 1 because he's got to kind of hit it, cut it back with a lot of draw. And that's why I like that 3-ball combination. I know it's unfortunate, but
to force it through here, you don't quite have enough room to completely avoid a double kiss. So
yeah, you got no shot,
you
huh?
got to hit it super thin. No, you may have a shot because it looks like it's almost inside the ear.
What do you do then? You kick behind the 1, trying to lay him on the 8? I mean, I don't
know if we can get the overhead real quick.
Well, I think the 1's going to
If we
kiss.
do,
The 8's going to kiss, right?
Yeah, and then real light, and then just drift the cue ball
Yeah,
down
let the
here.
1 go off the 8 and the 8 bounce a little.
But
so
he thinks he can force it through there.
he did. Nice shot. Now, is he going to get any position on the 4? Decent enough with the 6 clean to go up long. Now, this 8-9 got a little funny. Okay, nice shot. Drawing the ball all the way up.
That makes the rest of it play quite a bit easier. Like to get all the way down on the end rail here to play the combination.
And that's what he's looking at now.
That means he wants to get the position. I don't know if we can get the overhead real quick, but if we can, he wants the position to be back down here so he gets this angle.
How sweet is that?
Okay, pretty good.
Well, he overran it by an inch, it looked like.
Yeah. Good shot there. See how easy it transferred there, and that's just great pool right there. When you don't have to hit it, it just goes there for you. All right, Dennis loved winning that game. So he's had 2 games here where he got to start with ideal conditions. 3-2's our score. Dennis Orcollo will be breaking, but trailing. Well, Chris Robinson was ahead of Joshua
Now he's
Filler.
behind, I think, 8-6. I think he was up 6-3.
Yeah. Well, Filler's fast and accurate, so it doesn't mean that Chris played poorly.
And Shane Van Boning's just tied the match up at 6 and breaking.
I don't know what Albin's doing over here. I can't tell the score. Who
He's
has
up
the lead?
6-3.
He played just about a flawless match here on the TV table, day one.
I'd really like to know that Corey duel match, the one he is playing. Who is he playing?
Orcollo breaking 2-3.
All right. Dennis goes to the extreme side, left side of the break box. 4-ball on the wing.
Oh, he's drew it to the end rail now.
Yeah, I've seen guys using
He
that
needs
break.
another one to go down, though.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be Chris's option, seeing as how he didn't get another ball past the head string or make another one.
And he's instructed Dennis to continue play. That's an option. I don't blame him.
So there's no rollout in this situation.
There is for Dennis. It's a little peculiar. You like to keep it complex. I don't want you to get too comfortable.
No, there's no rollout.
Oh,
There's
no
no rollout, yeah.
Oh, well, then I'm wrong. I thought
On the Euro Tour, they play where there is. If it gets passed back, you can roll out. But here we don't. Here there's no rollout for either player.
Nice hit.
Well, we'll probably get to see him come off the end rail again here. Because the safety is not easy. Just at first glance. And it looks like he can come off the 5 and get past the 4-ball to get position on the 3.
So Jeremy's saying he didn't play it into the far corner pocket past the 3. Asking referee Ricky Bryant, I think, something about the shot clock possibly.
Well, I just don't like any safety. And that's the reason why I like to be aggressive, especially a straighter shooter. He can level out with the cue. He can cut the 3 from a lot of places. So just don't let up on this. Don't dribble it. You want to let your stroke out a little bit. Oh, he didn't even catch the 5 or a rail going into the pocket. What a shot.
Yeah. He's got that great delivery. Probably the smoothest timing of anybody in the tournament. Transition to backswing to forward swing is just glassy smooth.
Well, that's got to go. It's got to go a little bit. Should be all right.
Oh, no. He's got a little thin. Yeah, he
Well,
can
he's going to
handle
have to
it.
either draw it, draw it and spin it around the 5. Or no, he just played it. Not really, more like a drag shot. I don't think the 8's that much concern, other than you may end up to where you got to bump the 9 a little bit when you shoot the 8. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Corey Deuel's playing Kevin Chang. That's right. What another great match. Meek Eminem defeated Rob Sayes. Rob was playing really well. It was like 6-6. Next thing I turn around, Mika played so well in his first match. I wouldn't doubt he ran some racks.
Now, Chris is indicating that the cue ball was dirty and clung a little bit, a skid. But when I watched him cue it, he was a little bit just barely above center, and so you don't get that real good roll at close range. So I don't think it was a skid in that particular case. We've seen a couple. That being said, Chris would know. So
Oh yeah, you kind of what you do is you send the cue ball away, kind of sliding instead of rotating, and then you don't quite get the clean cut when the collision makes. So kind of holds the cue ball up a little bit.
Right.
Even on a full shot, it can happen very easily.
I always notice he's very reluctant to go up real high on the cue ball when he cues it. Well, I think he's going to have to go up and down the table here. Pretty. Cue ball arced with top spin.
Yeah, and real good pace, just drifting into position here. Big shot here. 4-2.
Yeah, Dennis forgot to mark his score. The scoreboard here at the table side is 4-1, but it's actually 4-2.
Excuse me, Chris Robinson is ahead 10-6 over Joshua Filler right now.
That'd be an enormous win for him.
Well, he's playing great too. Just losing his first match at the Dismal Swamp Classic last week, coming all the way back through to finish runner-up to our very own Chris Melling here in the Accu-Stats arena. Young man that's, learning from winning and losing every match.
Well, he's got the great attitude. He's got the very flat cueing, and he's hungry. And so the upside for Chris Robinson's quite a bit greater than it is for some of our other young players upcoming. Really taking a very professional approach to the sport. He's improved greatly. He did play a year at Lindenwood, so naturally I'm biased, but I really do believe in him.
Melling breaking, leading 4-2.
Now let's see what Chris can do from the break here. Dennis naturally concerned. Uh-oh, cue ball. No, he's okay. He didn't make a ball, but didn't scratch either. Dennis doesn't have much to work with.
Yeah, Dennis had to earn everything just to get a couple games so far.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, Chris has as well. But
Well, two of the games that Chris scratched, and then Dennis had ball in hand on a 1-9 billiard to start the match.
right.
And then he had a real nice open layout the other time he came to the table. Everything else has been tough.
Not sure you can see all the right side of the one. It's real close. That would make a difference trying to play safe for sure.
Extension.
You may curve it, but then I'm not sure that's any good.
Right. It's easy to run into a double kiss doing it, too.
He did curve it, hoping to float behind the 4.
Boy, that was a really slick shot right there. That speed.
He did great.
Yeah. You're exposed all the way till it gets covered at the end. At top speed.
Yeah, he was trying to move the one a little less doing what he did, but still to try that shot, pretty nervy.
Yeah, it's a world-class 9-ball. Look at Chris. He's looking at kicking to the proper side of the one to release the cue ball down table.
Yeah, I think that's what he's thinking about, but
that's really tough. He would like to glide. If he does so, he'll have the 1 hit the 7 if he catches it perfect, but that's probably about a 1 out of 4 shot.
yeah, 1 didn't catch the 7, but the 1's going to lay up tough again.
This is what we call the backdoor safety.
Well,
Just from hitting it. I mean, it's part of the plan, I understand, but at 20%
Yeah.
of the time, if you just hit them, they just lodge up difficult. You couldn't have played for this because the speed that you'd hit it would be so likely that you'd leave it in front of the side.
Right, it's nothing you could predict, that's for sure. This is touchy, too, though, coming down the table. He's left a shot elevated, but he can just cue down, probably even forward. Either one, he's going to run into the 3 or the 7. If he hits with a high ball, I think he'll go into the 3. Or real close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I could just play the 1 back and put him behind the 3. That's not bad. I like him shooting at this and cueing down on the ball.
You can roll it real soft if you do, and you're not likely to sell out. But however, then if you make the 1 that way, it's real hard to get back from the 3. So,
well, yeah. He's going to bank the 1 back down table between the 7-2 and try and run the cue all the side rail and then back behind the 3, I believe. Oh, no, he went for it. With the high ball, he thought he could catch the 3, and I think he would have, too. He undercut the ball. Well, this is... Dennis, I guess he can play the 8, but it's a little funny with the 5 being there. Should be okay. He should be able to hit enough of the 1 to go into the 5 and play the 8, I believe.
he's kind of looking at yeah, you're right. He's playing the 8.
He's got to do it lightly, though. Very lightly. And he's got to have the 1 catch a piece of the 5. Oh, he played it firm. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Is it going to... Wow. So no love so far here early in this match besides that little opening carom on the first game.
Yeah, Dennis played that shot very, very well, and it's really remote when the 4 ball is introduced as a blocking ball from that. That's why we know it can happen, but it doesn't happen very often that way.
Okay, that's got to go. It's not going to get a snooker, but it may keep him on the defense. Maybe it's close.
I don't think he can shoot at it. My vantage point here on the overhead.
Yeah, he's going to 3-rail this one around in between the balls and follow the cue ball maybe up behind the 3.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He's saying bank
Straight-
it here,
yeah, straight
here,
high, yeah.
here, and back around, and let the cue ball float down. There.
No, he's not doing that. He's going twice and putting the 1 down there. Okay.
He's bumped the 4.
Good play there.
Yeah.
He's left everything really tough for Dennis. I mean, Dennis can see a piece, I believe. But, I mean, where's your future in it? I just don't see much future in trying to clip it. You got the 6-2 to maybe get behind. He's going to swerve it again. Try and lay the 1 on the side rail and use the 7. Well, I'll tell you, he didn't do too bad. It's not easy.
Chris raises his eyebrows. Says,
I think it's another one he should shoot at.
Chris asked, do I still have my extension? Like, I want to take some time. I'm normally a very fast player, and he does have his extension available.
I'm not sure you can clip the 1 and get safe any, like running the cue ball safe any kind of way.
Extension.
I think even if he's going into the 6 with the cue ball, if he cuts the 1, I think he's still got to take the chance on that, Mark.
What about banking the 1 straight back and then
And
try to
drawing
drag
underneath?
over to the 6 and just try to leave it lay along
I
the long
saw
rail
that,
if you
yeah.
miss?
I don't know.
He's definitely not thinking that way, but you might because you're a 1-pocket player.
Well, he's looking at this 1-4. That's awfully thin.
Wow, that would be a great shot. 1-4 combo. You missed it.
Yeah, he missed it. I liked him just leveling out and taking his chances at using his talent and knocking that ball in from the end rail.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a natural scratch. There was a possibility of scratching off the 6, but okay, Dennis has got to cue this with a little high left and come out 2 rails for the 2 in the upper corner, I believe.
And this back cut slightly elevated.
He's elevating. Okay.
Yeah. As soon as you elevate, that raises the difficulty bar significantly.
Well, he's drawn by it then. Oh. Well,
He was just taking what he could make, not worry about it, and then defend himself from here if he didn't like the angle into the side.
he's shoving this in, banking it across the side. What I mean by shoving it is just the cue ball is kind of forcing the angle towards the 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dennis really hasn't been blessed with much fortune thus far in the match, but yet he's still here.
Rodney Morris hanging with Chang back there. I think he's trailing 10-9. Dennis trying to cut this lead to 1. Perfect speed, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Beautiful to see him floated in there.
mm-hmm.
Got the cue ball real close to the 6, so we can manipulate the pocket a little bit, keep the cue ball off the rail. So what he's primarily interested in. Preserved a nice angle. 2 cushion position now. Very pretty shot. Lots of leeway with your speed coming at it from that direction. And just like that, Dennis Orcollo has his 3rd win. 3 games to 4. Both players working very hard.
And this is the 2nd round of the winner's side. So both these guys will be back regardless of the outcome tonight.
Looks like Shane's all tied up over there. 7 games apiece. Playing Maxime Dudenitz. Young boy, I think he's only about 19 or 20.
I think 19.
Yeah, isn't it something? Fedor Gorst is here. He's 18, I believe, or maybe 19.
Corey Deuel leading 8-5 over Kevin Chang.
Corey's just an enigma. You know, he has a bigger high upside and downside, but the last year he's just played amazingly well. Better than he's played in years.
Yeah, he's playing really well. Well, Joshua Filler's cut the lead back there to 10-9 and shooting.
And Dennis, nice cut break. Did he make anything?
I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything.
A low 2 ball coming up by the side pocket and dropping in.
Last one. Last man standing drops. And Albin Ocean's in a dogfight over here. Dennis got to just come straight down the table. He's got to watch out for this 9. It's going to be close. I think he got away with it. And set up a 4-9 combination. He needs to get out to the center of the table for it to make it easy, but
Dennis might play the billiard. No, what is he doing? He's elevating.
he's punching right out behind it like that.
Oh, he wanted to get on this angle. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to have to cut back that forward too much against the grain, kinda.
Mm-hmm. They play so much rotation that these shots come up all the time in the Philippines, and that's why he got to the right angle here. Americans would have just taken the easy route and then got the wrong angle to make it easy. A combination. Good shot there. We're all tied up, 4-4. First breaking run out of the match for Dennis Orcollo.
Joshua Filler missed the 4-ball actually and snookered Chris, and Chris hit it. Now Josh was running out to tie it up at 10 apiece on one of the outer tables. Shane Van Boning tied up at 7 games apiece. One amazing story to me is John Mora.
I'll say.
I'll tell you, for those of you that don't know it in the pool world, John's changed from playing right-handed to opposite-handed to left-handed for health reasons. And it's amazing how well he plays opposite-handed.
He always did. Whenever he would switch around in the match, he was so nimble.
Oh, yeah.
But now to come back and, he was playing the elite level pool, and then to switch hands and come back. That's Ronnie O'Sullivan stuff.
Right. Cecil Tugwell, right?
Yeah. 7 ball on the wing. score is tied.
Cue ball.
Oh, dunk the cue ball in.
Really, from the 4 to the 5 to make sure you can get on the 6. Of course, the 8, 7 to the 8, some work. So he's got a few things to take care of here. But it's nice when the first 3 really to get on that first one that's a little funny are pretty easy. That helps a lot.
This is interesting because it's not easy to get an angle on the 4 to get to the 6. Or the 5, I mean. Oh, this was a good way to play it. Yeah. This way it makes it much easier to get the angle.
Yeah, this one you got to just stay down on. It's a little thicker hit than normal out on this slicker table.
Way inside.
And that's got to get on the funny speed because the 6 does not pass the 9. So this could end up being a very big issue here, especially because the 7 to the 8 needs to be a tidy position. You'll notice the 8 pinned on the side rail.
Wow. Yeah, this is a very thin hit. Chris is diagramming. Do you see that?
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary. I think he can hold it
Okay.
for
Yeah,
a little.
I don't know.
I don't think he has to go what is looking at like 5 rails with the cue ball.
Right. This will be a pretty shot if he does go 5 rails. He's winding up. I don't know if we can get the
And
overhead.
I think you got to add a lot of
we
right
do.
spin.
It's here, and drop it back up there. Yeah. Well, that's what he went for. What a shot. There you go. That's a replay worthy right there. Greg Sullivan smiling, laughing. What a shot that was. How much fun must it be to play with that type of firepower?
Yeah, pretty perfect speed. Now he's got to pinch, kind of cheat this angle a little bit. Oh, he went out with a high ball. Okay, nice shot. So he's super comfortable there. A lot of people would have forced it a little bit with draw into an angle on the 8.
Yeah, not very many people would have played the 5 rail position.
Oh, no,
Chris
no.
would after either.
But even just the 7 to the 8 with the high ball, a lot of people would have stayed away from that as well.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that game should have been worth 2 games, in my opinion. If this was a judge sport, I would award 2 on that one. It was beautiful to watch. Very fun. 5-4 is our score. I love pool. It is so much fun. See this. Dennis is a fighter. Chris is a shot maker. We got a heck of a match going on.
Absolutely. Again, this is the second round of the winner's side. Both these guys undefeated out of our 112 we started with. After this round's complete, we'll be down to 32 on the winner's side. Quite a few left on the loser's side still. A lot of loser's side play tomorrow.
What that means is anyone left on the winner's side after the night is in the top 48. So they're within 1 win, winner's bracket or loser's bracket, of making the money here because they're paying the top 32.
Right.
Okay, Melling set the break. This has been by far the best played match on this table, and we've had some great ones. A little something trickle into the side. Chris is hooked. He's smiling, laughing. Let the cue ball get down low.
Well, again, I think that he's trying to play the one on the side mainly, and we've seen a lot of the, like Jason Shaw yesterday, be very successful with the cue ball below the rack. You just got to look for gaps. So when you're playing that break, that's what you're going to need.
Mm-hmm. Jason's cue ball hits it just a little bit higher. These guys have been letting it drift the ball or so low, and Jason's cue ball comes back and tags that 9 ball pretty often, and it stops the cue ball in the middle or lets it come back down table.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the rollout is here.
This is real tough to roll out to. You almost have to roll out to a kick.
Well, I don't mind rolling out to where he's looking at now. Just because to be offensive, you'd have to dead slow roll the one. You certainly couldn't cut the one and get all the way back around 4 rails with all that traffic. So to get on the 3, he could. I kind of like kicking down, rolling out in between the 6-7 down here. I know he may play an effective safety on you, but I don't think he can afford to try and be offensive. Is that hard enough? I guess it is.
Dennis wanted to glide past the 3 and just wing the 3 and left full exposure to the 1.
And this is touchy here. He's looking at trying to bank this and draw his ball. I don't blame him here. Just don't let up on the draw. That's kind of why you may leave it real tough for Dennis.
Mm-hmm. Chris is smiling, walking fast back to his chair. Didn't get exactly where he wanted to be, but
No, Dennis is going to have to work again. He's going to have to level out and knock this in, come across around where the 7's at, then take a pretty thin shot on the 3, I think. I think it'd be silly to elevate on the 1. Because if you elevate on the 1 and you hit it good, you could get past the 3, and then you can't get on the 4.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, this is one of those in-between strokes. It's a, well, if you play a lot every single day and you're really feeling good, you can go after it.
yeah, but leveling out, you got a lot of cover to, if you miss, you got the 9, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to maybe snooker 'em. I like doing this and coming right over there, knowing you're going to have to kind of slow roll the 3 in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has to be hit too perfect, like light enough to hold for the 3, but hard enough to get some draw on it. So this is the type you can miss badly. Meanwhile, he had it perfect.
What a
Wow,
shot.
you know how tough that was?
What a shot. The first year that Dennis came over here, they always said, oh, this guy's the best player in the Philippines, which we hear every year. And
Yeah.
he never really played that good on the center table. But the last few years, the last 4 or 5 years, all of a sudden, okay, perhaps so. This guy is the real deal.
Yeah, I played him first 2 times I ever played him was a long time ago, actually. The last time they played the World 9 Ball in Cardiff, and then the following year, which was in Taiwan. And he was in my group stage both times, and guys were claiming that he was beating everybody for money over there. Antonio Linning was a real good money player at the time, and I won both matches. But in that under that kind of stage, he just didn't play like, he wasn't comfortable yet, basically.
It took him a while, but now he's asserted himself, and he's certainly in the top handful of players in any tournament.
And going neck and neck here.
A great match, 5-5. A lot of times the score is 5-5. It's not a great match. This is a great match with the score 5-5. Well, there it is. It says it all. 896 for Melling, 879 Orcollo.
Yeah, which even on the outer tables, I haven't seen a whole lot of poor play at all. Really, I think one match I saw a couple guys that were really incredible players not play their best. But other than that, but especially here on the TV table, I've seen a lot of guys playing great.
Balls pocketed. Melling had 43. Orcollo 29.
And that's just because of a couple combinations there on the early 1-9 carom the first game, and then a 4-9 combination later.
Precisely. 7 ball in the wing. Cueing a little bit low right. Tagged him. Uh-oh.
He's made a ball. Got a lot of spin on the cue ball. It's a lot of spin when you could barely see the red dots on it.
Yeah.
And it's really spinning.
Yeah.
He's got an easy starter on a 1-2 combination.
Takes a glance at the 3 and the 5.
Yeah, and a chance to take his first lead, Mark.
Lightly rubs it in.
It's got some work, though. You'll notice this 3-5 combination. If you had ball in hand or something, it's a pretty easy combination. But other than that, so he's going to try and come around and play some type of short side, I'm sure. Either for the 3 in the same corner as the 1, or maybe one of the side pockets.
I guess he could cut the 1 into the pocket very thinly and just come down one rail off the end rail.
He may play for that 3-5. Okay, that's going to need a little bump, and that'll be perfect. Well, not perfect. It got a little steep. But it looks like to me he can come 2 natural rails around the 8, in between the 9-5, and come 2 rails right towards the 4.
Well, once again, it's that in-between stroke, though, we were talking about.
It's an easy one if you can let it out a little bit, but if you got to hold it, like a lighter speed, so he's just going to sacrifice a little distance on the 4 here. Oh, but now he's elevated. Ooh, this is the angle you don't want, Mark. Because now he's got to cue down on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to attack the cue ball with a little draw somehow, or to the rail and over. So one thing is also the 6 is on the other side of the table, so he needs to stay off the rail for the 5 to get to the 6 as well.
Jumped out of his shoes there, didn't he, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Well,
Not
Chris
too
will be
happy
delighted.
with that.
Well, you identified it right away. That's the angle you don't want, where you're slightly elevated, back cutting. Then you got to introduce just a hint of power.
Chris has gotten pretty straight here, but we saw the draw stroke earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He can draw it or pound this, I think, meaning using the rail to come out. It's got to slow down a little bit, because I'm not sure the 8 passes the 9 in both pockets, so if it does, he's fine. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh.
That's just open. So this will be
He's still got to pull his ball a couple rails here.
Yeah, I think it's 3 rails around.
Yeah.
Let's go
Maybe
along
not.
to the end rail.
Maybe he can
No,
kill it.
I don't know if we can get the overhead in time, but if we can,
I think he's going
I
to
think
kill
he's
it with
going
inside.
here,
Oh,
and
he's going to hit
back.
before the side?
I think so.
Wow. I think if he hits before the side, he'll kill it with inside English and take the cut a little bit on the 9. But if he cues down on it, he's going to pull it past the side, I believe, but maybe not.
Well, he's even considering. He looked at the bank.
I like he's shooting the inside. No, he's shooting your shot. Wow, that's too much. So he's going to have to make a bit of a tester on the 9 here from a little bit of an odd position.
Whoa, exactly the worst position, isn't it?
Well, with left spin and is he looking at the side? No way. Because it's in the side, that's because he's on a natural scratch shooting it to the corner.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. It's he's falling about as ugly as he could. See, there's a good look right there. Good camera work.
Yeah. Don't baby it. Go ahead and shoot it a little bit, because it always falls to that low one. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Look at this. He got him. He trapped him. He trapped him. Shooting at the 9.
You know what I
He
like
can't
here?
shoot this in the corner.
No, here's what
I
I
like rail first.
Yeah, rail first. If we can get the overhead.
And don't baby
it's
it.
right here and here because the cue ball comes across and you can play it, and a lot of times it settles in over here, gets
Or
the cue
it'll hit
ball
the
over
side
here.
rail, in rail, and come back up a little bit. So,
Yeah.
But the key is don't baby it. Like Mark said, get to the rail with the cue ball. That's always the best speed on that rail first shot for some reason.
He's going to kick at it, looks like, or that's what he's considering kicking in the side.
Well, that's what you're talking about, kicking at it with a real doable pocket down there. That I know it's over the side, but
It's just far enough out. It's not an easy shot. If you go the other way, you're
he's
going
trying
to
to
hit it.
double bank it. That's, I think, a silly shot in this situation. Yeah, I'd rather see him kick at this rather than try to double bank it safe. It's just landing near the point, too much near the point. Key is here, don't baby it. You got to hit it well either way. Oh, wow, now it's right back at you, Chris Melling.
Wow.
I think Chris may be able to beat it.
Yeah, I think he can cut it in the corner. But boy, it still
but
takes
you
a
got
heck
to
of a good
ease it,
shot.
though. You got to kind of ease it with a stroke, which is a difficult thing to do, meaning you got to get through the ball a little bit. So,
And that speed, sometimes when you lightly graze the rail, it comes away from the rail, even though the pocket plays big. If you go just a hair firmer.
I like this cross corner because your cue ball's coming down to the end rail. There's a lot of good things that can happen, even if you hit it short or long. Main thing is cue down now. You don't want the cue ball to get away. Yeah, see how he's playing the cue ball to that rail?
My goodness, what a nice shot that was.
Yeah.
Makes me want to clap, and I'm sitting in the booth here.
Very smart. Now, Dennis is going to, this is where, again, he should use his talent leveling out and trying to bank this ball right on in. I don't think you're going to see anything else, Mark. Go ahead and hit it with some speed. This is the type that'll double bank long rail, believe it or not.
Oh, he miscued.
He was trying to bank it back up table.
Foul, no contact.
And, I think he moved his body on that, too, Jeremy.
Yeah, I don't think he was in love with the decision, so he kind of, wasn't committed.
This is the spot shot time,
No,
right?
no, only if you scratch on it. Only if you make it and
not a
scratch.
foul. Okay.
Not if you miss it and scratch, but if you
Okay.
make it and scratch.
Thought we almost got to see it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was the interesting turn of events, and that was the exciting game. 6-5 is our score.
Okay, Shane Van Boning pulling away a little bit after trailing, now up 10-7, which is not that big of a lead. Playing alternate break, that's not that big of a lead, much less winter break.
Right. And with this talent level, that's just one or two innings that can easily turn around.
Now, I wonder, I think Tommy Kennedy has beaten Johan Chua, I believe. I could be wrong, but he sure has been at the table a lot. Leads me to believe he's ahead 10-6 and shooting. Well, the last couple times I saw Tommy, his game had looked a lot more in form. Yeah, just kind of rolled over the top of it.
Yeah.
Melling breaking, leading 6-5.
Well, Dennis has definitely been uncomfortable because I've seen him moving his body on several shots here.
Well, we saw a little of that last night in another late match between Ko Ping Yi and Billy Thorpe. Late night match, a little bit of fatigue maybe.
Crisp pocket of the ball, but all he has on available is going to be some type of a defensive play.
If he can get at all this too, though, it could be a nice defensive play, that's for sure. Little stretched.
Yeah, he went for the bank. And the backdoor safety comes into play.
Well, that wasn't bad play, though.
Not at all. No, he could win with that shot. He was on the 3.
Dennis is really up against it here. Hard to get much separation here with the 2 wedged against the 5. Looking to see if the 5's playable any kind of way, maybe cross side or something like that.
Hello,
Right
5
in
ball.
the side.
Yeah, Tommy Kennedy emerged victorious down there.
From what I saw, he didn't miss a ball either. This is a little funny going around the 9. He may have to settle for a cut on the 3 here.
Good call.
Yeah, I think he could have done a little better than that, but it would have been a little threat going right by the 9. So, But now he's funny too. He's just got to kind of smooth this in and take the angle coming right at the 4. I think, right in between the 7-9 with the cue ball.
He had again one of those in-between strokes. Not that easy to play.
Yeah,
Very easy to miss.
good thing it's just kind of straight top English though. He played it much firmer than I thought. What a great shot. He wanted to make sure he committed.
Not
Great.
baby it.
Yeah, great decision. Well, it's a little light of ideal, that's for sure.
I think he's going to go a little high right, come up, play the 7.
Yeah.
Well, just float it up to the center of the table. Just take the back cut.
Okay, nice touch there, knowing the cue ball was going towards the 9 a little bit. So, really nice speed. Now he's
Yeah.
got to pay attention here. Doesn't want to accidentally overhit this and get straight. I mean, it's a little thick, though.
Gliding along. This will tie up the score at 6 games apiece.
Timeout, 5 minutes.
Shane Van Boning won. We're going to be having a player timeout. Double J.
And tied at 6 games apiece.
Solo breaking.
Race to 5 from here.
6.
Drawing with spin.
Yeah, getting the ball down and going to have perfect position on the 1 with the 2 over the pocket. So can't ask for much more than this.
No. Nice way to come back from your break.
Start the clock.
Really no problems other than he needs to gain an angle on the 5 because he'd probably rather like to shoot the 6 in the same hole as the 5, but we'll see. Just makes it easier to get on the 7, it appears, but that's a few balls away.
Gliding to the center.
This definitely makes things easier. Now he's gotten a little bit in between to where he can't really hit it with a high right and get above so easily. So he may just kill it, I guess. I don't know. I would rather come across, but he could certainly hit a top inside English and come around.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He's got that decision to make. The issue is that the 5 ball's away from the side rail by a little over a ball's width. So like Jeremy
Yeah,
said.
he's going to shoot this with inside and come around 3 rails, which I like that. Just make sure you stay off the wow, that's quite a bit short. Now we got issues. So he's going to have to hit this with a high ball, but the 9's going to may get in front of the 7 here. He hits this with a high ball, the 9 may get over there and cover up the pocket.
I think he's going to hit it with a high ball, go into the 9 heavy, and have enough power that he hopes to get separation.
Well, yeah, but the cue ball could follow the end rail then. Okay, he played it real light. I didn't know he could do that. Now that was perfect.
That was certainly,
yeah, keeping the angle on the 7 to easily come across the table for the 8.
pretty shot. Just good execution.
Well, a little bit on the 50, but not taking much time.
It's the heart of the pocket. Nice break and run there. It was the second time in this match he's got up from the break. There you can see Melling had a 3-rack burst early in the match. Dennis has been claiming 1s and 2s along the way.
Yeah, now we're getting towards the end, and it really counts. They all count. I mean, we all reflect on hill situations and shots, but they all count. But with opportunity, the guys at the end that do it are the ones that separate themselves.
Well, this is 1 inning 9 ball. I mean, whoever gets the first good shot's been resulting in a kill.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say other than that break there that either player's been super happy with their breaks overall. Now, they played great, so whichever one goes on to win or lose actually is going to have to clean that up a little bit to advance in the tournament. Because even though we've got the break rules tougher here, we still see every year somebody that runs 5s and 6s at the right time toward the end of the tournament, get it in the finals, semifinals, all that. So now the 2's hanging, which could be a great thing considering he's super thin on the 1. So this is where you just, hey, where's the quickest, easiest way I can make this 1 and get a shot on this 2?
Yeah. The 2's in there deep, so as long as you can somewhat get at it, but if you end up not perfect, it's in so deep, it's actually a very small target if you'd have to kick at it. And a great likelihood of scratching, too. It was a pretty nice shot.
There, yeah. Now this is going to be a little touchy. It's not so easy because it is so deep to come right down the right side of the table by the 5. That's what you would like to do here. Catch the 2 thin. But I'm not sure that's even playable, that ball is so deep. He may have to draw the ball out here.
I think this is the one where you have to go ahead and power up and clatter and just hope to come out of it.
You mean like draw 2 rails behind the 4-9 and come around or something like that?
Just attack the don't try to be cute and play perfect position because it's in there so deep.
You don't think you can drift it out 1 rail by the in between the 5-9?
No,
or is he just going to draw the heck out of it?
Yeah, you can see. You see here on the overhead. We got the overhead. You can see how deep and buried it's in there, so you can't just edge it. You got to clobber it. Oh, boy. Anything but that. That would have been far more interesting to see where it went.
Well, you don't see many miscues at this level, but when you're powering up, it doesn't take much. Just any slight quiver on the stroke, and you can definitely get a miscue.
When you're uncertain. See, he wasn't certain where the cue ball was going to go, and that compounds that issue where you start to get flinchy quick. Mm-hmm. He just shot that with ambiguity. He wasn't really committed.
Corey Deuel hangs tough, and a big win for him in the second round over Kevin Chang. Dennis Orcollo with ball in hand here now, still taking a definite look
Yeah.
at this.
If that doesn't
He's going to draw out of there too.
be a testimonial to how hard this is.
He's going to. That's correct though.
I don't think he's drawing. I think he's going to. I
He's
don't know
not
if we got the
drawing?
overhead.
No, he's got to be drawing out of there in
I
between
think
the
he's going
5-9, right?
No, the 6-7. 2 cushions through the 6. Oh,
Wow, he miscued
now
as
what,
well.
What in the world?
Wow. Well, this isn't like 8-ball where you can shoot that and call safe and make your opponent shoot. That's for sure.
That's 2 consecutive shots. I'm really surprised by Melling. Looks up here smiling. He's laughing too.
Now he's got a difficult 2-rail kick at the 3. He'd love to come to the back like he's got right here because he's got 4 balls to maybe get behind. Well, 3 really with the 6, 7, and 8.
10.
That's not going to get it, I don't think. Well,
Extension used.
didn't get much separation, but he's covered up the bank, and I don't think the cut really is playable.
Looks to be an okay shot there.
Yeah, soft safety, meaning probably not a devastating hook, but make him kick at it, and you're still a favorite, I would say. Key to this 2-rail kick is don't let up on it. Of course, don't blast it, but you want to come across the 3 and let the cue ball get all the way. Oh, he went 1 rail, and I don't blame him. He hit it great. And he's going to get rewarded.
Mm-hmm.
Now the 5-6 is covered up, so
Chris is looking at maybe giving the 9 a wrap on a kick combination from long range.
I think he may cut the 3. I think he can cut a piece of the 3 and bank the 3 up and send the cue ball at the 9, maybe, is what I'm guessing. And maybe the bank as well. Maybe play the long rail bank. And the reason why he's getting a little more creative here is he could also be a little more passive, seeing as how the 5-6 is tied up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something bad could happen here, and he could give Dennis an early win, or break the 5-6 up, or hang the 9, making things a little easier for Dennis. But he's attacking, so he took a chance.
He was definitely hoping. Once he didn't hit the 9, he was definitely hoping he didn't hit the 5.
Yeah, but he kind of could have played that and just lag the cue ball the end rail a little bit and made Dennis really earn things. And now it may cost him this game. Dennis is, these guys are pretty crafty when it comes to breaking balls out, Mark. Or even getting the best of it and snookering you. You don't have to break them out.
No, he can play a pre-planned safety and get some type of reward where he does get him loose, making you get him loose.
Did he get perfect here, where he can shoot the 4 and follow down?
I don't think so. Looks like
Too straight?
I think he has a hint the wrong angle.
Okay.
I think the cue ball's going to be traveling more towards the 9.
Well, again, he'll try and get the best of it, playing a safety on the 5. Which there's a couple of them. You get below it, you can cut the 5 up into the 6 and come across and use the 9 as a snooker. Wants to get, oh my, big mistake there. Kind of took it for granted. Now Chris has got to be careful here.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes into this, he needs to go into it heavy and really, you say don't baby it, but I think you got to put a little speed here.
I think even rail first on the 4 gives you that speed and the angle.
Yeah, I would like to go into this 5 real fat, though, I think. I don't think anything too bad can go wrong if I go fat. That's going to end up being okay as far as trying to get a better position on the game. Can he play it?
Looks like it.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. We had 2 consecutive miscues. Now we had 2 consecutive rattles in the same pocket here from fairly close range.
Now he'll come out for the 7 in the side. Goes easily by the 8. Real natural to get there. I think it goes by the 8 easily. It looks like it to me.
Yeah. He can go to any pockets he wants. He'll be right in between. I think he can still handle it. He's got to back cut this into the side, however.
Yeah, and he can hit a high ball too, going to the side rail if he chooses. So could go a little bit more there, though. Really surprised they end up short there with the 9 where it's at. With the 9 where it's at, you go ahead and don't worry about getting a little bit straight or a little bit hair on the wrong side. Now you got to hit a shot to go past the 9, which can get touchy. Nice shot.
That was. That's the guy that hits balls a lot.
But that's that in-between stroke if there ever is one.
Yep. This will tie it up.
No, take the 2-game lead at 8-6.
He's
Yeah.
top.
Been a long day for Mark Wilson.
Yes.
John Moore and Brandon Schuff, the only other match going on. It looks like it's 8-7. I think Brandon. Yeah, Brandon's up 8-7 right now. Yeah, he's trying to power draw it. Watch, he just gets it and probably goes off to, oh, wow, straight through. It just, there was no hit to the left or right. It was right on his target. It was just in the air.
Might have clenched his grip a little bit there.
Maybe.
When I was watching, it looked like he did. That will distort the tip just enough when you're down at the bottom to get off the ball.
Speaking of John Moore, don't you think it's got to be a little psychologically tough to play if you're Brandon?
Yeah, definitely.
It's, you're playing a guy that you know plays great, knows the game great. He's playing opposite-handed, though, and,
Right.
as great as John is, he's just, even when he's playing right-handed, he's just percentage points better than Brandon. And now he's playing opposite-handed.
Right.
So.
It's kind of like in the movie Kingpin when Bill Murray said, I got beat by a guy with a hook.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies, actually.
Yeah, mine too. All right.
He got Munson.
Yeah. 8-6.
Okay, he made the 1. Is he going to get enough past the head string? It appears so. He's got a cross-side bank on the 2 ball with the 3 ball very playable. Now the 6-7 on the side rail's tied up.
I kind of feel like maybe it's not really on bank. You have to really hit it warp drive because do you see how obtuse it is here on the overhead?
What do you think about the double bank and just stopping your ball there with the 6-7-8 the way it is? Because that's definitely playable, and then you can be offensive on the 3 if you happen to make it.
Right.
I know it sounds crazy, but
if the 9 wasn't there, I really like your shot, but the 9 makes it play just a little tricky.
Yeah, but it's going to dive on you, you would think, off that second rail pretty good, kind of like the kick shot does.
Right.
So he could chip the 2 towards the 6 and 7 and all that and try and use the 4 coming back. That's a little tough. I like using that 6-7-8, even if I'm not trying to make the 2 ball bank. Just double bank it over there to that other side rail. There's a little gap between the 7-8. You could leave a shot, but not much.
Right. In any event, he's got to travel the cue ball some to do it. Powering up.
Okay, he played it soft, but if you don't hook him, you're going to have the worst of it. Like here now, the guy's going to chip the 2 behind those balls. So if you don't hook him here in that situation, you got pretty good the worst of it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, but it appears he can cut the 2 back behind those balls.
He can also bring the cue ball up to those balls. But no, he's going to play that shot.
Yeah, like that.
Chipped it in there.
And I really thought Dennis should have looked at that a little longer. Now he's got a window. I don't think it's a makeable one, though. Maybe it is.
Yeah,
It's
it looks
close.
like it goes.
I'm looking right down the line.
Nothing
Wow.
to do for position.
Amazing how close he came to that 8-ball right there. So we'll see what type of decision he tries to make for this 6-ball here in a few shots. If the 8 wasn't there, he could get pretty aggressive trying to break it out with the 5 coming across. But with the 8 there, it makes it a very small target.
But you can always, if you get near the 6 down below it, it doesn't go, but you can go rail first real lightly.
And get him on top of the 7.
Yes. And you can do it pretty much risk-free, too. If we get that far, we'll definitely diagram it for you.
He wants that to go a bit, that's for sure. I don't think he's going to try and break this out. Like I said, he's almost got to go into the rail first and open on the 7 because of the way the 8 is. Oh, is the 6 playable? No way. Is it?
No. It's falling just a little thin, but if he can work the cue ball back right under his arm now, so he's down the low side of this, then he can easily go rail first with that. Nope, he was going after it. What a shot.
What a shot that was.
Holy moly. He had to go between the side pocket, not nick the 8 on the way in.
Can't shoot this. He's going to use the 7-9 as a snooker. Pretty easy shot overall. He's got to elevate just ever so slightly and use a pretty decently thick hit and kind of throw the 6 back with a little right English. Good thing is you don't have to get all the way to the rail. The 6 is going to get the rail for you. You'd like to lay it on the rail over there, but
you definitely don't want to leak the 6 ball down.
right, for a cross-side bank or easy safety. That's a perfect speed. Perfect. That means he cut off both the underneath and atop the 7-9. So Chris has got to come to the bottom rail some way, whether that be 2 rails or 1 rail. That's important to cut off the side rail behind the 6, always like that. It's like a perfect speed. He's looking at 2 cushions by the 8. And one good thing about this way to kick is you're got a shot at making the 6, and you're also sending the cue ball back where he's kind of standing right now, and the 6 may come back up table. Any kind of hit on the 6 ball usually it creates a little separation, so it's like a medium speed. He is taking a chance at hitting the 8, though. So he'll hit in rail right before the side pocket on the side rail.
This will be a pretty shot.
Yeah, but he could hit it heavy and bank it back up by the 8 and slide the cue ball behind the 7-9. So there's a lot of ways to hit this. He could overcut it and bank it to the side rail, end rail, and run the cue ball. There's a lot of things that could happen. It's just a matter of getting by that 8 and making a good hit.
You can turn the game around with this shot.
Yeah.
Those shots like that have negative expectation, meaning, so it's just taking your best odds. He felt that was the best play, and I'm not disagreeing. It may well have been.
Yeah. I think he had to spin it with a little inside from the way it was laying, though. I'll tell you. So that's the one thing that I think he tried to judge for. It just didn't work out. And now looking for a 3-game lead. He should shoot this in the corner.
The pace has slowed down a bit, but the interesting part of it has been maintained. 9-6 is our score.
What did you buy? Some? Is it Mega Millions?
No, I'm gonna wait till it gets up around 2 billion.
Well, it is around 2 billion. It's like 1.6 billion or something like that.
I can't
don't
wait
know how
a
much
little
closer to 2 billion you need, but you only live once, Mark.
No, I think my wife probably bought a couple.
Oh, okay. She's got you covered. I got you.
Yeah, we just buy the dream with. I always like the guys that said, well, even if I win it, I wouldn't quit my job. I'm like, buddy, you have not enough imagination. You don't deserve it. Me, I got lunch in Paris tomorrow.
Paris?
Or somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere, huh? Okay, Dennis, a little more effective late in the match than he was early breaking. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's been going draw and more spin.
Okay. He's making a ball on that side a lot. Now the cue ball's got to quit turning or else it's going to keep rolling. He's going to get a shot, and the 6-8 is a little goofy on the side rail again. But he's got a shot on the 1 to where he can go into the 3 with the cue ball with a high ball, I think. So, or does he want to hit it easy? That holds position a little. Okay.
Golly, what a nice shot that was.
He got a little thin, but that's okay. Kind of what he needs to drop 2 rails down for the 5.
He's checking the 6-8
Very
circumstance right
playable.
now. Boy, he made a nice shot on that speed.
Yeah, this looks natural to me. Catch 2 of the long rails. Drop down for this 5 ball. Now he wants an angle, obviously. That's going to be perfect, I believe. Oh, it's got to go. Now he's going to have to put some steam on this 5 ball to get out for this 6 mark.
He may go rail first.
He may.
It'd be a lot of travel, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he's able to punch it out there with some side spin.
And that's actually going to get about perfect, almost perfect. It's actually about 3 inches short of perfect.
Yeah, he would
So
like
this
to get
is
a little...
touchy, yeah. This is touchy because he's got to hit the 6 kind of thick, but the 6 is going to hit the 8 kind of thick. So the 6 isn't going to move much from the rail here unless he really shoots it firm.
Right.
And now if he shoots it firm, the cue ball is getting away from him. So he's got some issues. He's going to go tight across the side twice, I believe.
Boy. Yeah, this got quite a bit more difficult than we initially thought, because when you inspect it carefully.
Yeah, if he's a couple inches either way with the cue ball, it makes it easier. Either more straight in, or that's what I mean. This cue ball is really going away from him. I kind of felt like he had to figure that was going to happen, and that's why I thought he would go a little less draw and more like straight back and forth across.
Now you're forced to just roll it in, I guess.
Well, how many, besides him, who else you choosing to get down and just make this ball for you in a big situation? Maybe Shane, SVB. He's one of them, that's for sure.
That's a super tough shot, and you're coming back with yet another super tough shot.
Well, there's no 2 ways about it. I mean, he's got to shoot at it. He's just got to commit to which way he wants to play it. And I think it's firm. Not firm, but, 2 rails back and forth, maybe for a cut on the 7.
You see what he's looking at, though? He's looking at possibly banking it 4 cushions around to just let the cue ball come forward.
Yeah, but when you're on the rail like that, that makes this shot just as tough as the cut, in my opinion.
I agree. He did measure it out, though.
Yeah, you have to hit it much harder. The cut, you don't have to hit that hard. You just got to hit it clean, accurate. The speed going back and forth should be fine. Yeah, just like so, and take the little bit of a cut on the 7.
Gorgeous shot.
Yeah. I liked him taking a little more time to commit to which way he wanted to shoot it.
Yeah.
Now this one here, I believe he's going to go with a high ball as well, just because you can let your stroke on go by the 9 and then back up. If he tries to hold it 2 rails, well, the speed can get away from him. So he should catch 4 rails for the 9 in the lower right. Oh, and he overcut it.
Yeah, he definitely didn't like that shot because he moved and flinched.
Wow, Wow, that was a big shot to get on the hill at 10-6. Well, that's too much. That's way too much. I mean, that wasn't even close to right. On this, we had a similar situation earlier.
Yeah.
This one's a little easier, but not much. Oh, you hit it thick again. Oh, nice shot.
All right. 9-7 is our score. Melling will be breaking.
Got a lot of players here practicing on the outer tables, getting ready for tomorrow's matches.
A lot of players in the arena, too. You see a whole European contingent up there, inclusive of Jason Shaw. See John Schmidt sitting in the crowd, Skylar Woodward, Ruslan. Alan Hopkins on the front row.
Melling breaking, trailing 7-9.
All right, here we go. Melling breaking, but trailing 7-9. Race to 11.
Oh, cue ball. Oh, my. Oh, my. And after a mistake on the 7, which was a tough shot for Dennis, nothing wakes you up like ball in hand, I tell you.
Yeah.
It's like the cure-all for a mistake.
Yeah, with open layout here, too. Like what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, not really any tough work at all. Just holding the ball for the 2 here, and then the 3. You can see the 4 and the 5. Pretty easy. The 6 down on the bottom rail. The 8 goes to the upper pocket by the 9 as well as the lower. Okay, he's going to go ahead and run the cue ball for the pocket on the 2, and I don't blame him. Much rather hit high English with ball in hand than I would low English.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if that miscue from earlier had anything to play with that.
I was wondering about that too, yeah.
Just enough angle on the 4 to come out for the 5 pretty easily. I don't see a mistake here. Like I said, that 7 ball last game wasn't easy anyways, but one you expect him to make. But definitely don't see a mistake here to get on the hill.
Yeah, he's not flinchy in this rack. He's elevated himself a little bit here. Shouldn't be a problem. He has to play a little further away from the 9. He's not going to pass up a second chance to get on the hill, you wouldn't think. And Dennis Orcollo needs 1 game here. 10-7. What kind of tip are you playing with these days, Jeremy?
A triangle, and I usually play with a pressed Elkmaster, milk dud, they say, call them. But I haven't gotten any lately, and the ones, a couple of them I did have, it gotten kind of firm even before I put them on. So I tried a triangle, and so far I'm not too unhappy. It's been about 25 years since I played with one, probably something like that. But yeah, I was pretty happy. I need to experiment a little more with some of the layered tips. I haven't in a while. I've just always kind of liked the one piece better.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I get a little more feel with him. The first couple layers to me on the layer tips are okay. Then after that, I lose a little feeling with him, in my opinion. So,
Yeah.
but that's just me, probably. Who knows? And I haven't tried them in quite some time, so maybe I need to give it another try.
I've always miscued way more often with a layered tip, and I just feel like it's more glue as gets exposed around the edge, and I just do better with a
One piece.
La Pro. And
Yeah.
actually, what I'm playing is a Tad Water Buffalo, which is like a real good old La Pro. Mm-hmm. They call it a hard tip, but I think it's more of a medium, really.
Now, Dennis Orcollo wanting to make the most of what will be his last break this match.
From breaking with low right and drawing the cue ball 3 cushions. It's been kind of interesting.
Oh, he had the same line now. Is the cue ball going to get hit? Nothing. The 7's in the way, it appears, but it won't be a jump that Chris can pass on. I don't think, anyways. He may play a real first shot.
After everything that went forth there, he's happy that he didn't scratch.
Yeah, he's a little disgusted, though, overall, with a couple of mistakes plus a couple of unfortunate situations.
Mm-hmm.
That's the rail first he's looking at, but this angle isn't that great, not only to make, but to get it on the back rail and run the cue ball. Neither are very nice.
Right.
On this thing, you want to have the cue ball up a little higher. He hit it with a great speed. Got a little bit of a nice kiss on the 9 to keep the snooker on the 1.
Yeah, and the 1 and the 7 are tangled up in such a way that even if you kick into it, it doesn't go anywhere.
Well, the good thing is Dennis can kick 2 rails behind it and catch the 1 and send the cue ball back up table and towards the 3 and 6. And the 7 should hold the 1 from really going very many places, meaning you can hit the 1 about 5 different ways and still have that same outcome. Now, I don't think he needs to cue down on this ball. I think that's a little bit of a mistake.
He might be going 1 rail.
Yeah, but that was tough, 1 rail. I mean,
It was a tough 1 rail, and you weren't going to get probably the separation.
yeah, I'm thinking he thought the 2 railer wasn't there. I don't see how he could pass it up on the 2 rail kick. Okay, huge opportunity here at 10-7. Well, now he's got to think about the 3 on the side. The 4 doesn't pass the 8. He's going to just play the 4-8 combo. I think, anyways. Maybe the 4 does pass. Looks tight to me, Mark. Yeah, he's playing the combo. Nice shot. Oh, my goodness. Oof. He looked confident it was on a nice line, but when it first took off from the 4, it was a little concerning to me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So Chris Melling playing a really nifty rail first shot on the 1 to open this game and got him in a position to cut this lead at to 10-8 and breaking. And Chris opened this match up with a 3-1 lead. And then I think Dennis caught him at 4 and then took the lead 5-4. Then Chris came back 6-5, and then Dennis caught the lead at 7-6 again and went on to get a 10-7 lead here at the end.
Melling breaking.
Well, you said at the beginning with Orcollo's a fighter all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
Chris needs to do something besides scratch on the break.
Well, he's
that's
changed.
for sure.
No, he didn't change. Excuse me. Oh, now he's lost the cue ball at the bottom rail. He got a lot of action on the one, then it's going to get kissed up into nice position.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
can't ask for much more here. 2-3 combination that's not great, but very playable. I think he can get the cue ball going towards the 2 off the 1. I think he's got a little bit of an angle. Not sure he has enough angle to get to the backside of the 2 to play the 2 all the way up by the 9. It's close.
Yeah, it looks pretty straight here on the overhead. You have to pound it into part of the side pocket to get there.
Yeah, but you would love to get at least a foot over more towards the 2 to cut the 2 on the 3.
Right.
That would help tremendously.
Well, he does have the angle for that. I'm saying
Yeah,
not to get down past
he can
it.
power the ball nice. So.
Oh, he did try to get down there.
Okay, now he's got a tester.
Oh, boy.
He's off angle on the bank. That doesn't really go. He could play the cue ball behind the 6, but I think in Chris Melling's mind, it's time to be offensive.
This will be a pretty shot.
He could play the 2 behind the 6, for a cue ball behind the 6 pretty easily, banking the 2 up into the 8, something like that. But he'd like to bet the game on this shot, and that's what he's doing. Great shot.
Super firepower.
Now the rack opens up nicely. The 6 looks a little congested, but where the 7 looks a little congested, but where the 6 is at it, it's pretty easy to gain position.
Mm-hmm.
Just coming up that side rail.
That was good speed.
Yeah, like ball in hand.
Yeah. If he plays it more conservative and gets a little thinner, then the whole rest of the layout plays much more challenging.
Yeah, mainly the shot on the 7 plays so much more challenging.
Yeah. Well, nice time to pick up a break and run out here. This will be the second break and run out of the match for Melling. Pulls back yet another game at 10-9 behind. Chris is smiling, laughing, talking to no Tommy Kennedy here.
Tommy talking to another fine player, Ron Park. Played pretty solid 9-ball too. He played in the U.S. Open every year for many, many years. Had some good finishes as well. Cashed in the money plenty of times.
I remember this tournament here in Norfolk. It used to be here anyway. At Barry's Pool Room. Luther Lester played the first few years of it. Irving Crane, too.
Well, I was a pretty lucky man as far as for my age, getting to meet a lot of the old timers. And it's just, I never got to meet Wimpy, though. Now, big turn of events here. Dry break and pretty solid hook with an open 1. This is tougher for Dennis as far as where do you roll out or do you go for a jump shot? You wouldn't think you would go for a jump shot, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does because it's a winning shot. He feels like the 2's there. The rollout situation is tough.
Mm-hmm. For me, I think the push-out rule is dead. It's a boring rule. I think it gums up the works, and I think you should just have to play every time one foul ball in hand.
Well, I don't mind that, actually. I've commented on that a lot recently, that I wouldn't mind if we just played no rollout at all. Just
right. It's
old New Orleans rules. Back in the day, that's how they used to play in action matches. No, they didn't play rollout. We got a nice kiss on the cue ball to at least bring some distance, but for Chris at least.
Yeah. You know, the push out after the break rule was a compromise. We used to play every shot was push out, and ESPN came along and said no way, and the players rebelled because they just wanted us to play one foul ball in hand. And then they compromised and said, we'll let you still play that way first shot after the break, thinking they solved something or eliminated luck, when the big part of the luck is when somebody shoots and misses a hook shoot, not the fact of how it works out on the break, because sometimes you get lucky breaks on the break, too. And so it's just been in there. No one knows how it got in there, and it's just left in there. But it's an appendix that needs to be removed because it hurts new people coming into the sport, for one thing, and it solves nothing. You have to push out to a kick anyway. Big shot here.
Yeah, he's going to attack, I believe, kind of lightly.
Wow.
Great shot.
Good Lord. How much fun must it be to shoot at balls like that? Melling, Jason Shaw, Joshua Filler. They just got the upper hand on those shots.
Okay, we're looking right in the face of another hill match here on the TV table. There's been plenty already. Oh, that's got to go. It's going to get there, but it wasn't ideal. We would have loved to have been a little bit more on the good side of the 4, that's for sure. Now he's got to make a decision. Do I draw back in 2 rails or 1 rail all the way back across, like so?
Plenty of cue power there. Pretty shot. Well, Chris is going to ask to have the cue ball cleaned, I believe.
Oh, he should go right down towards the 6 here and go ahead. He's right-handed. Go ahead and go past the side and lay on that right side rail, getting close to the 7, I believe. I don't think there's any reason to play with any distance and much angle. You can't get a lot of angle with the 8 being there. If you could get a lot of angle with the 8 being there, it'd be fine. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, if the 8 was gone, you'd play more towards the center to come around easily for the 7. But since you can't get there and you're so ideal, you might as well go ahead and come towards the 6, getting kind of close to it. That way, just drawing them back to that little small position on the 7 is real easy.
Start the clock.
Or I wouldn't call it easy, but much
Less
more
difficult.
doable. Yes,
Right.
Exactly. Many people take our game for granted like it's easy. These guys make it look easy, but that's a lot of big different story than
It's
what it really is.
A lifetime of devotion. It would be like saying, you know, I can play that one song on the guitar. It's pretty easy. And then you actually try it. You got years invested to play one good song. Oh, nice speed control there.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by getting so much closer to the 6. Trying to do that from some distance would have been a little bit more touchy at the bare minimum.
No, he floated in there perfect. Great job.
And I really can't falter Dennis for going for the 1 ball. It was a winning shot on that jump shot. Very difficult situation to roll out to. And he could have been fortunate, and he was, but Chris just came with one heck of a shot on the 1 ball from some distance. So,
Well, we're down to decision game time. We're on a player timeout. Okay, everybody, we're back. Melling's at the table, breaking.
Hill.
Melling breaking.
And both players shook hands.
Well, it wasn't the 900 that I expected by both players, but with just a few unfortunate things, they're not far from it.
It's certainly been an exciting match.
Oh, and he broke dry. Wow. He broke dry, and he's given up a shot, and now he's got to play a short side position, but the angle's there to do so.
Accept the table or give back.
Problem is, you got to creep in there. You can't afford to come across and hope you hit something to slow yourself down. You could get snookered very easily. I don't think he's going to play for a 2-4 combination. He's got to take a chance coming in between the 7-3, I think. I think the 2 also goes to the upper right-hand corner by the 7.
The only reason to not try to float in there is if you want to play a pre-planned safety by sticking the cue ball on the 7 from the top side there with the 2.
Yeah, but I think the 1 ball's just as hard doing that to get the right angle. I think you really just got to take your chances here. Now, getting elevated could be the worst thing that could happen, but
Oh, great shot there.
now he's just got to level out and get through the 7 a little bit. Meaning he's got to have some concern here because the 2's not too hard, but he's going to get thin on the 3. And then he's got all the 6, 8, 9 that he's got to contend with shooting a 3 to the 4. So we still got a lot of work. Got to get through the 7 a little bit. Nice shot.
And he got through the 7, just like you said, picked up the perfect angle.
Yeah, if he played it kind of super, with no stroke, kind of like he would have gone on the other side of it, and then big issues.
He would have had the wrong angle, and then you got to fight with the 6 and the 8.
That's right. Stay off the rail. That's the key on this shot. Coming back across, you can always draw out this angle if you get a little straight. It's just like perfect coming out 2 rails.
Yeah.
He can play for the side or the corner. When Dennis gets in real gear, though, he doesn't even mess with the side here. He comes 2 rails for the corner because he knows that's absolutely correct. You come 2 rails long for the side, and your speed's got to be nice. You overran and get on the rail, things can get funny. Like, that's the proper shot. A lot of guys will shoot the 6 hard and come 2 rails past the 7. And
yeah. No, very routine. Run out now. Great opening shot, though. Just like you said, he had to creep that ball in there, and he did so. Then followed up with, another good shot. Really entertaining. And,
Chris Melling can hold his head high. He played well. He'll be back with probably plenty of wins on the loser side.
Yeah, hotly contended for match. Well, that's world-class 9-ball, and that's what it looks like, everybody. We have Raw Hannah down on the floor with our winner. For JJ and all of us at Accu-Stats, thank you, and so long.
Raw Hannah here at Accu-Stats with the undisputed king, Dennis Orcollo. Once again, you did it, Dennis. You started out a little rocky. How did you right the ship?
Well, I struggle in the beginning of our break, it doesn't work. Trying to find a way, left and right, and both start play great, but their problem about the breaking, it's hard to make a ball on the wing ball. Well, and what I do is just focus to the game, wait for the chances, and I thought it's over. And I know if he have chance, he may come back. He's a strong player. He's a champion player, So, I'm glad I survived today, and not being shit. And still I have to work out, my game every day, survive every single match.
So I'm gonna ask a question the world's want to know: are you still the most dangerous, most wanted, most terrifying money player on earth, or what?
Well, I love this game, I like challenge, However, a great player in this earth, So if I have stakers, they're willing to put me on backs. So, yeah, I will.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not say like a lot of great players in the world, Maybe I'm one of them. So.
You heard it here first at Accu-Stats. Dennis Orcollo, the most dangerous money player in the world. I'm sure he's looking for a game. We're here at Accu-Stats. Tune in tomorrow.